In a game that had a lot of scratching and clawing, the Atlanta Hawks took on the Houston Rockets at State Farm Arena. And even though the Hawks put up a great fight, they fell short for the sixth time in a row. It's tough out here, y'all. But welcome to Hawks Digest. I am Chris Tipmore, man. Hey, normally I say you to come on in and take off your shoes, but at this point you can leave them on. We're going to get into this video about the Hawks and the recapping what happened between them and the Houston Rockets. Now, before I get to do any of that, guys, I need y'all to do me a solid, you know what I'm saying, especially if you're new, and please help Hawks Digest reach our goal of 1,000 subs and beyond. Come and be a part of the Hawks Digest family and make us your first listen when you want Hawks content. Yes, sir. Hey, I gotta find a smile and a laugh somewhere because our Atlanta Hawks are now on a 6-game losing streak. Longest skid of the season for our Atlanta Hawks. And my goodness, the schedule doesn't get any easier for us. But we're not going to get into that right now. Again, Hawks, Rockets, the Atlanta Hawks take this L 100-96. Close game. Hawks, they definitely did fight the entire game. Started off the game, you know what I'm saying, I still feel like they started off the game strong. They hit a 13-0 run that made Houston call a timeout, even though Houston was able to come back. In this particular game also, both teams coming off of a back-to-back or on a back-to-back after playing last night. We were in Minnesota. Houston was in Boston. The only difference is Houston came out with a victory, and of course we lost. Now, so coming in, both teams having tired legs. You already know how that's going to go. That's going to affect any team, you know, any professional team, any regular team, you know what I'm saying, coming off of that. But it's no excuses. You still got to go out there and execute. And we just did not do that. We did not go out and execute. So not efficiently for the entire game. We fought. You know what I'm saying? Houston at one point in time was up 16 points. And the Hawks weathered that storm as the resilient team as they've been all season. Like you try to take off on them. They find a way to try to claw their way back into the game to give themselves an opportunity. And this was yet another opportunity for the Atlanta Hawks. They gave themselves the best chance that they could at the end to a degree. And they just came up short. They just fell short, guys. Just fell short. I want to get into pretty much the team performance. I want to talk about how the Atlanta Hawks only hit 11 threes tonight. Only 11 threes, and they shot 47. Now, you may say, hey, well, the Houston Rockets only hit 7. Yeah, but they shot 17 less threes than what the Atlanta Hawks did. Either way it go, that's still 23% for both teams. Again, they did not shoot the ball well from beyond the arc. But if you slide all the way down to that points in the paint, that's what Houston did well, you know what I'm saying, for themselves. And they got to the paint a lot. They had some dunks. They had Shingon, you know what I'm saying, he had a double-double with 18 and 10. He did his thing. A guy who was an X factor for them tonight was Jalen Tate. So it's just like he was perfect from the field, by the way. 6 for 6, 16 points, 4 or 5 from the foul line as well. So that was crazy work for them. That was like an X factor for them as well. But more importantly for the Atlanta Hawks, we were unable to take advantage of Houston's inability to knock down shots. We couldn't take advantage of it. And now, yeah, we got out rebounded, but that's only by 4. I'm not gonna gripe about that. But the turnovers, it just can't happen, y'all. It can't happen. And I'm not trying to call out anybody, but I gotta bring out. Oh, what's up, Bogey? I gotta bring out our leader, Trae Young. I gotta call him out real quick. Trae, I need you to take care of the basketball just a little bit better. You're our floor general. You're our leader. I'm always with you when you're right. And my thing is the usage rate. We already know that's going to happen with when you got a guy with the talents of Trae Young, who can do so much magical abilities with the basketball, passing, scoring. You know, what I'm saying, just everything that he does with the ball. I understand that. We know that. We ain't got to get into that. What I'm talking about most recently is the turnovers. In this particular game, shoot, our backcourt alone had 12, but Trae had 8 of those. He's had a game of 11 turnovers. He's had a game of 7 turnovers, 10 turnovers. Basically, what I'm just saying is we just need to cut down on the high turnover rate. The last 10 games, Trae Young has 5.5 turnovers. You know, so it's just like we got to bring that back down. He averages 4.8 on the season anyway, but that number even went up because that number was lower. So it's got to change. You know what I'm saying? I'm with you when you're right, but I know he's dealing with injuries as well too. So nobody jump on me about that. I know he's dealing with injuries. Trae's been playing through injuries the entire season, so I know that. But again, it's just like decision making with the ball. I just need to see better from our floor general, from our leader, Trae Young, in that aspect. But of course, you know, Trae Young still going out there doing Trae Young things, and he still gave you 21 points. He still gave you 9 assists. And for those who care about the plus and minus, he still was a +4. So, I mean, he's still out there giving you production. He was 7 for 16, 43% from the field. It's just, you know, he was 2 of 9 from 3, which is 22%. But my thing is, guys, listen. There was only 2 guys on this team tonight that shot over 30% from 3. And it wasn't none of our main guys. Keaton Wallace was 50%, and Onyeka Okongwu was 50%. And when I say about main guys, I'm talking about our main shooters. Onyeka is not our main shooter or one of our main shooters from 3. Honestly, I don't even like Onyeka shooting threes, but that's another story that I'm not going to get into it. I'm not a storyteller. So, also, you know, so we was terrible from threes. 23%. I already showed you guys that. But one thing also that I want to get into is toward the end of the game, DeAndre Hunter. Man, Dre had never could. Man, you're not going to get a better look than that. I don't even know how to even say it. You know, I said I can't even talk because you're not even going to get a better look than that. Wide open. The kids, you know what I'm saying, would say butt naked, as that's what they would say. So my thing is you got that wide open look, and unfortunately I feel like if we had a day's rest, Dre knocks that down in his sleep. But unfortunately the ball went in and came back out, and unfortunately it went to the Houston Rockets. Now the next thing that was strange about that was the Hawks. They tried to make so many attempts to foul, and it wasn't respected. It wasn't respected at all. The Hawks made several attempts to foul, and it led to a wide open dunk by Shingon, and it was just a mess. You know, so the whistles already. The Hawks haven't been getting favorable whistles at all, and this game was nothing shy of that. Nothing short of that. Just the same old type of stuff. Things getting called one way, not getting called both ways. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. But our coach Quin Snyder even said, "I thought we fouled like 3 times." Quin, you're not crazy, man, because I could have sworn the same thing. Could have sworn the same thing, Quin. It's crazy. But Trae definitely got to be better, like I said, in that aspect of things. Also, you seen a picture of him earlier. Bringing him up again, there was no Bogdan Bogdanović. Also, no Clint Capela in this game as well. Now, Clint Capela was ruled out with back spasms, and Bogdan Bogdanović has been out due to personal reasons. Now, I don't want to stir the pot or anything, what's going on with these 2 guys, but, I mean, a back spasm is a back spasm if it's true. And one thing about it, you're not doing anything with that. If your back is spazzing up, you're not doing anything. I'm not going to say that these guys are possible, about to get traded tomorrow or anything like that. We don't know that. It really could be back spasms for Clint Capela and personal reasons with Bogdan Bogdanović. Um, it is interesting that it is these two particular players that have things going on when it's possible when the trade deadline is right around the corner. So just keep an eye on that. So that's one thing I'm just going to point out. Just keep an eye on that, Hawks fans, on what's going to happen with Bogdan Bogdanović and Clint Capela, which it could be nothing. Nothing could possibly happen. Um, Another thing, a point that I wanted to get into, this young man right here. You shut him down in the first quarter. I feel like you did well. Hawks did well anyway. They went on a 13-0 run, even though Houston was able to come back. And in the second quarter, Houston actually outscored more points than the Hawks, and in the third quarter as well. But this guy right here was one of the reasons why Houston was able to go back and forth, to joust with the Hawks so much. Jalen Green, man, that second quarter and third quarter was when he got all his points. The second and third quarter, this man was getting to the rim, getting what he wanted, getting in fast break, knocking down a few shots. It was tough. It was absolutely tough. Jalen Green had 25 points, and for peak's sakes, the man scored 23 of them in the second and third quarter. He only had 2 points in the fourth. So again, he did his damage in the second and third quarter. And for the Hawks, the third quarter was a tough quarter for them as well. That infamous death quarter, as a lot of people like to say, but it's the truth. I mean, sometimes it really does happen. Hawks were only able to muster up 23 points, going 3 for 12 from 3, 7 for 19 from the field, 36% and 25% from 3 in that regard. And the Houston Rockets, they were able to score 10 points more. Now, they didn't hit any threes, but they scored in the inside. They got to the foul line as well. Points in the paint. Getting to the foul line, that's because you're getting to the foul line because you're driving in the paint, driving in the lane. So that's another thing that just hurt the Hawks, man. Hawks gonna have to bounce back. I believe they can still bounce back. We're dealing with injuries to the T, man. Up and down the line, the Atlanta Hawks are dealing with injuries. So there is a chance to still bounce back from this. Trae Young and Dyson Daniels played tonight. They did not play in the previous game. Zaccharie Risacher did play in the previous game, but he had his adductor. I feel like they just didn't want to play him on that back-to-back. So I'm fine with that. I have no problem with that. Larry Nance was out there, so it seems like the hand was well enough for him to play, and he's hopefully going to continue to get better as well. Before I get ready to get up out of here, I got to give some love to a few players. And I also got to say, hey, man, Onyeka Okongwu, I understand the type of game that he had, but he didn't get a lot of opportunities at the basketball as well. He only got 4 opportunities, but he was efficient. He was definitely efficient. Now, guys, Onyeka Okongwu's height is his height. There's nothing he's going to be able to do about that. We already know that he's pretty much an undersized center. And a lot of people in the fan base are going to feel like he's too small. In some regard, are they wrong? No. Because against certain centers, yeah, he is too small. And effort only goes so far. I'm sorry. It only goes so far. Love Onyeka, but the truth is the truth. Okay? He's an undersized center who gives maximum effort on every play, but sometimes he's just going to his effort is going to be overruled just by his size, by the size of the other center, and by his size as well. So it is what it is, about that, and the personnel is the personnel right now in that regard. Onyeka is definitely the starter. I don't see Clint at this point getting it back or anything. They're going to roll with it. Now, we haven't won since it happened, but they're going to roll with it. And again, the personnel is the personnel. Vit Krejci. Crazy Krejci. Another double-digit game for Krejci, man, 13 points. Now, he didn't shoot well from the three, but who did? There's only two guys that only hit more than 1 3 tonight, and that was Trae Young and Vit Krejci. So, but Vit was 2 for 10, but he was 5 for 14 from the field. I need him to continue to shoot with confidence and shoot with more confidence. Tonight, I'm saying, it was a back-to-back. Things happen. Continue to play well. Continue to be solid. My guy Mo G, and if you didn't see that video that I did about Mo G needing to come up and play for the Atlanta Hawks, please go back and check that out as well. But Mo G passed the eye test for me. 5 for 11 from the field, 45.5%. And Mo G gave you 7 and 11. In 22 minutes. You're not mad about that. I wasn't even studying his first game, to be honest with you, really up, because he's getting used to the NBA game. He's been playing down there at the College Park Skyhawks. That's a different, let's say, league of competition. But Mo G 11 points, 7 rebounds. He passed the eye test for me. I prefer Mo G to get minutes over guys like David Roddy, with all due respect. I want Mo G in here because Mo G is that guy. First of all, he's taller than our starting center. He's getting in there, getting rebounds. He had 5 defensive rebounds, 2 on the offensive end. Mo G's trying to give some effort for you as well. He can knock down the 3. He only hit 1 tonight, but he is a threat from that area. And once he gets acclimated to like the NBA style of things compared to, the G League, I think he's going to be perfectly fine. Mo G needs to stay. He needs to get his minutes. Hey, man, if y'all want to, send David Roddy down there. No, I'm just kidding. They're not going to do that. But I'm serious about Mo G getting more playing time and staying with the Atlanta Hawks. I'm serious about that, though, for real. Again, Dyson Daniels, I want to give him his flowers as well, too. Dyson Daniels was marvelous in the fourth quarter. He had 3 steals in the fourth quarter. Big buckets. Just being the Great Barrier Thief and just being, in the right places at the right time. Overall, he was 4 of 12. Yes, 1 of 5 from 3. But that fourth quarter was instrumental. And if he doesn't play as hard as he was playing, the Atlanta Hawks, honestly, would have had even more of a tough time in that fourth quarter. And probably wouldn't even have had the opportunity to set up that possible game, lead change in 3, that attempt that DeAndre Hunter had. And, gosh, you just wish that he knocked down that shot. That would have been so beautiful and to finish that comeback. But, again, the Hawks fall just shy of ending this skid, the longest skid of the NBA season for the Atlanta Hawks. I do believe that they're going to bounce back, though, some kind of way. They're just going to have to figure it out. Quin's going to have to get with the guys, come up with the game plan. We're missing bodies. We got to get healthy. That's the biggest thing out of all of this, guys. Without health, there will be no wealth. There will be no wins. There will be no playoffs. So we got to get healthy. We got to get healthy fast. And we got to just seize each opportunity. Games like, against Toronto and everything, they're in the NBA for a reason, yes. But their record is what it is for a reason as well. So you can't lose games like that. Not going to trip on the Pistons game. Not going to trip on this game tonight. Not even going to talk about things in the past like that. Overall, moving forward, we got to limit the turnovers. We have to be as physical as well. We have to knock down shots, and we have to be efficient on both ends of the floor. We can't give up open threes. None of that. We have to rotate. We have to talk, to each other. We have to work together as a unit on both ends, completely. Not saying that they haven't. I'm just saying we're going to have to do just a little bit more. We got to have just a little bit more because we're on this 6-game losing streak, and the only people and the only guys that can pull themselves out of it is the Atlanta Hawks. Until next time, guys, thank you for tuning in to Hawks Digest. I am Chris Tipmore. Peace and blessings to you all, and to you all, a good night. We move!